There we go.
Now, how many fish have you marked? Because I haven't marked any over there.
I marked one as soon as I sat down.
Yep.
And I've marked 4, including that one. I had 3 in the last 10 minutes come in and they just nip and grab the minnow. And I double hook it, but they still get it off somehow.
Yeah, I double hook it too.
And this one came in, he was really aggressive. He came right up and grabbed
Good.
it. So.
Well, I notice you're using a pretty fast dropping spoon. The spoons that I've got here, you know, and they work really well on the bay. 2 are spoons, and one is actually, it's a crankbait, and it's a clacking wrap, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. Now, the spoon that Brad's using is pretty fast dropping, and it's very similar to this more Silda that's made by Rapala. So the idea is that actually you're not getting a lot of flash from the spoon. You're using it more to deliver the minnow down near the bottom. So you jig it pretty long strokes until you get a fish coming in. When you see a fish, like on the Hummingbird 55,
there's one there right now.
Then you start working it. Okay, quick, get a minnow on while I'm talking and drop it down. That's awesome. I think we better trade holes later. So this spoon drops really fast because you can see it's pretty thick and narrow. The other spoon, it's got the same kind of configuration. You can see that it's long and thin. That's why it's called a rocket, but it's much thinner. So it has more of a fluttering action. So on days when the fish aren't attracted to a fast dropping spoon, it's really good to use one that's dropping slower and that has more flash. And then lastly, this is the clacking wrap, which is really a crankbait, but it's a sinking crankbait, and it has a cylinder in here, and if I actually, you should be able to hear the clacking. It's not a rattle, it's just one piece of metal that goes back and forth. And because it's sinking, you can let this drop to the bottom and gently jig it. If you jig it too sharp, it can come around and the hooks can catch the main line, so you don't want to do that. Now, have you caught many fish on it this year?
I started using it at the start of the season, and I've probably caught 15% of my fish on it this year.
Good, because I know a lot of guys have actually used this and jigged it pretty hard. And when a fish comes in, they'll pull it out, and then they'll drop down a spoon and a minnow.
Yep, and I've actually caught them right on it. I usually bring it up and just tease them a bit with it, and they either grab it or they don't. Yeah, but I've had my best luck after the main bite is quit.
Right, right.
And that's
well, it's probably because of that clacking, you know, because it actually draws them from a distance.